What did your parents do for a living?
Okay, so my mother, she works with the federal government, and then my dad, he's a super at the moment. So that's what they do. They're
S-
not together.
They split at some point.
Yeah, they split when I was a baby.
And were they actually married at one point?
That's what my mom claims. My mom claims they were married, but I don't know. She could just be, I don't know.
And after the split, who'd you end up staying with?
I stayed with my mother, for the remainder of my childhood, and that's what it was. I got to see my dad often. I got to see my dad every weekend, uh, as I was little. But growing up, it just got like, you grow up, and I guess things change. You get older, and you do your own thing after.
Are you able to share what your mother does exactly or what the role is with the federal government?
I can't disclose that because I feel like people are gonna knock on it a lot. So I can't discuss that at the moment.
And for people that aren't familiar with the phrase super, what does that mean?
Okay, so super is a superintendent that takes care of a building, and they make sure that everything's good, and they fix stuff whenever you call them and all that. The building manager.
Now, did your parents want you to follow their footsteps or fields?
Yes, absolutely. My mother wanted me to go to college. She, up to this day, she still has a hard time accepting that I dropped out to pursue music. But um, how else am I gonna get to where I have to get to? You gotta take chances. So,
And then what about your father? What was his reaction that you went the music route?
he, Jesus. Okay, so he was okay with it because he's already involved with the music industry. He's very, very connected in the music industry. But um, I don't use his connections to get to where I have to be because our relationship is not as rocky. So I believe that I should be making it from a standpoint where I'm the one who got that opportunity to do it instead of. So he was very wishy-washy about it, you know.
Is it an ego thing for you,
An ego thing as far as well.
wanting to establish those connections yourself, not use him?
Absolutely, that's an ego thing. Because my dad, we don't have the best relationship, and of course, when you on the come up and you're doing things and you're doing different things than what your family don't want you to do, of course, there's gonna be those comments. What if you don't make it? You're not gonna make it. You got those things. So that's what really fueled me, and that's what really fueled the ego in this music shit because people are like, I'm like, all right, you know.
Are you able to say why your father has these connections or how he has these connections, being that he is a super
Okay.
for a job?
So he was working at Madison Square Garden at one point, and he was managing a lot of DJs actually, and artists and stuff like that. Local people. But he's very good. He's like me. He's very good at making connections. Very good at stuff like that. He used to work as a security guard at Madison Square Garden, so that's how he was connected.
Now, in the American society, financially, how would you describe your upbringing?
Uh, Low middle class. So I wasn't poor. I wasn't poor. I wasn't in poverty or nothing like that. But I had something to eat every night, thank God, you know what I mean? God bless. But yeah, like low middle class, I grew up.
And was your household able to move up to a higher income group at some point, or did it just stay lower middle
No,
class?
absolutely. My mother, she worked very hard. She's been in the government for like 20 years now. So she did her due diligence and she got up to where she needed to be. I appreciate that.
So you guys did move up financially.
Yeah, we did at one point, yeah.
Would you say middle class? Would you say upper middle class?
No, I'd say like middle class. Not much of a difference.
Now, since you were Able to experience both of these income groups, what did you learn from that? What did this teach you, if anything? Seeing lower middle class and then seeing middle class.
Well, it taught me that I'm a man that I'm grown now. So freedom is very, very important to me. And there were times when I could ask my mom, yo, mom, let me get like a toy or let me get this. And she'll be like, even though we were low middle class, she still wouldn't be able to get it sometimes because of so many expenses. So that just made me want to become an entrepreneur and open up my own business and do what I got to do for my daughter and me, you know, and for my family, I guess you can say.
What age were you when you sought to earn money for the first time?
When I saw what?
When you sought to earn money for the first time.
Okay, so my mother got mad at me and she told me, if you don't go to school, then you can't live here no more. So I took the high road and I chose not to go to school. And that's pretty much that day when I started to sort out after this music shit. Went homeless. I done slept on couch to couch with my computer. It was just a computer, the mixer, and the microphone all in one little bag, walking around Queens, just trying to find places to go, try to make this shit happen, you know what I mean? This was years ago, too. So, yeah.
And how long do you think that time of homelessness lasted for you?
It didn't last long. It was about like 2 days or like a day. I ain't have nowhere to go. And then my boy had told me, yo, you could come crash. And he wasn't, my boy at the time. And he wasn't so rich either. He didn't have like a lot. And I really appreciated that he did that. You know what I mean? Because, not a lot of people do that. And he took me in.
Did this cause a rift between you and your mother?
Of course, yeah. For many, many years. Back and forth, back and forth. And up to this day, she still tells me, like, yo, it's not too late to go back to school. And I'm like, I mean, I got 500,000 views on YouTube independently. I don't know what else to say, you know what I mean? But it's not a lot. But for me, growing up watching this, I never thought, you know.
This was one video or a total of various videos?
One video, and then the other video, I think it got like almost 250,000. So one video has 500,000, and then another video has like almost 250,000.
Care to share the reference of these names of the videos?
Oh yeah, Visionolic. Man, how I forget my own song name? Jesus. But you could search up Visionolic on YouTube, you'll find it. It's the only thing that pops up.
How were you able to get those amount of views on your videos? Because there's people watching this that aren't even close to that and are wondering, how do you do it?
Of course. So it took a lot of money. And I'm telling you, in this industry, this is a money-driven industry. This is not you wake up and you have 1 million views when you wake up. Most of these people you see that got 1 million views, there's a lot of work that went behind that. Just a lot of promoting, a lot of connecting and good karma and just being an overall good, promoting a lot. You got to promote a lot,
But just for the record, these aren't fake views.
Absolutely not. And at one point, I will admit, like when I was like 18, I had this one song. It was so mediocre. But I was like, yo, I need to make it. And I'm seeing all these people make it, so I'm going to put fake views on my video. So when I started putting the fake views on the video, I started to see that the views were disappearing. So I put like 10,000 views. And then the next day, it was at like 8,000 views. Then it went to 6,000. Then it went to 3,000. And I'm like, yo, YouTube now has an algorithm, I'm assuming, where they could detect it. So real views are going to stay there. All those views that are on my videos now are completely legitimate,
The video you're referencing here, when you did do fake views, is that video still out?
No. I had all those mediocre, all the mediocre music back then. It's gone. You'll find it. I'm assuming you'll find it if you really dig deep into me like that. I'm assuming. But, no, they're not online.
And was that a one-time situation when you tried to purchase fake views?
Yeah, that was that situation. That was just a one time thing, because I knew that okay, it's going down in numbers, so I can't keep on wasting money. I gotta find some other way to promote it, or you know,
How much did that cost back then? Those fake views?
those fake views, 20,000 views. How much did I pay for that shit? Like 100 or $70. It was so cheap. I remember it was so cheap, and that's why people they sell you that dream. It's like, but it's not. Don't do it. You want to go legitimate. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm telling you, go legitimate. It works out better in the long run.
Now, who did you go through to get these views? Was it something you were trying to seek out, or were you getting spammed with emails or advertising saying, hey, we can get you 10,000 views, we can get you 5,000 views, we can get you 1,000,000 views, like one of those type of
No.
advertisements? Sometimes they get direct message to people, sometimes they get into people's email addresses and things of that nature. So was it someone soliciting you for this service, or you were soliciting someone for the service?
I believe, yeah. I think somebody had sent me. They sent me an email, or I had seen it on Instagram, and I clicked on it, and I did it, and that's when those views had, appeared.
Did you contact, I'm assuming you used a company for this?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever company it was, there's millions of websites that you could do it from. But like I said, what's the point?
Now, this company that you used, did you contact them and say, why are my views going down? Did you question them?
No, I didn't question them because I knew that those views weren't legitimate. So I knew, like, I would have questioned them if they were real views and they went down. I would have been like, yo, what's up? But nah, I knew. I was like, I need to expect this coming from a place of false. You know what I mean? So it's whatever.
And what did that teach you? What did you learn from that experience there?
Legitimacy is key. Sometimes. I'm not going to say, all the time, but it's key most of the time. Stay straight.
Now, in this interview, you referenced God. You also referenced Jesus. Do you follow a religion?
No, I don't. For many years throughout my childhood, I always felt like, damn, I don't even know if I should be talking about this. But you know what?
It's up to you.
I'm going to. So throughout my life, I always felt like religion, there was something like weird about it. So I did research on literally all the religions that there were in the world. And not to, I don't want to, but Buddhism for me, the Buddha, the story of Buddha and all that for me, that was what I looked up to, I guess you can say, as far as religion, meditating and all of that. So.
And shed some light on that. You mean that's the one you chose to go forward with, or?
I'm not completely, I'm not like, into it completely, but I do follow certain principles that come along with Buddhism and all that. But I just find it weird how, if you don't believe in God, you're immediately thrown into hell. Because there's people who don't believe in God. You know what I mean? So how would they view that? I don't know. It's too confusing. You see, it's too confusing. So I'd rather just stick to something that's simple and not that it doesn't make sense, but it makes more sense to me. You might have a different story.
Now, were you raised to follow religion?
Yeah, I was raised in a Catholic household my whole life.
And at what point do you divert? What age?
Okay, so at 16, 17, around that age, I had gone into a program. We out here, we young niggas, we out here, and my mom was getting sick of this shit. I was smoking weed every day. I was hanging out with people I wasn't supposed to, doing stupid shit in the street in my neighborhood and all that. And she put me into a program. So that was really when all my ideas had, like, you know, started to change a little bit. I got a different perspective from things.
What type of program was this?
Okay, so the program was a rehabilitation center slash some behavioral some shit. So all the niggas that were in Rikers that didn't want to do their time, or like they got like a good, like like the judge would tell them, listen, if you don't want to complete your time in Rikers, you come over to this program, you complete your time in this program, we let you go. So I was literally in there with like everybody, like Bloods, Crips, Kings, all types of shit, bro. Just fucking all gangs you could think of. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know?
And that's what started to get you to think a little different.
Yeah, that's that experience. I was there for 8 months. I was there for 8 months. So I was there for a long time, you know. It's kinda like doing a bid. You know, wasn't cool, but I mean whatever.
So was it something specific that got you to divert? Was it something you saw or something, or was it just that experience overall?
There was a lot of things I saw in there. I had seen a girl stab a teacher, and I think that experience right there was the one that was like, oh shit, like I need to get out my bullshit, like I need to get out of here. You know what I mean? And that changed my whole perspective. I changed into a different person after that. I wanted to like pursue like stocks. At one point, I wanted to be a stockbroker before I had the idea of becoming a rapper, and I was very heavily into trying to make it, not with music, but like just make it in general with something, you know, at that point.
Was that the first time you seen someone get stabbed?
Yeah, that
You actually
was,
saw it?
yeah, yeah. It was pretty crazy, man. That teacher was a good dude. But you gotta understand that there's just things that happen like that. Like, it's not the girl's fault because I think the girl had like a mental disability. So, you know, we couldn't really like go at her. It wasn't like it was just crazy thing, you know. People are who they are, you know.
Uh,
And she's actually, I think she's actually from my neighborhood too.
what neighborhood are you referencing here?
Jackson Heights, Queens.
And do you remember how she stabbed him?
Yeah. So I believe he was teaching because we had teachers there. We had to go to school. Remember, I was 16, 17. So they had turned out the lights, and then he was teaching, and there was like a whiteboard or something. He turned around, and when he turned around, this girl with a pencil just boom on his neck. You feel me? And I was like, oh, this is it was pretty normal at that point, cause I had been there 5 months already, and I had seen a lot of things already. So to me, at that point, that was kind of, you know.
If that was, for relative purposes here, normal, what else did you see in there?
I saw a lot of things, man. I saw a lot of knife situations. That's what I saw because there wasn't really weapons in there. Like, you know, knives and people getting jumped, people getting hit with chairs on their fucking heads, gang wars. I remember, yo, that shit was crazy, bro. You see, listen, I was fucking with the niggas. Like, I was talking to all of them because I'm not gang affiliated. Like, I fuck with niggas, you know what I mean? But there's a time when you gotta, you know, stand back and just study. And I think that's what the changing point in my life was. Standing back and studying, you know.
As far as the violence in the, situation you were put in, how did you fare?
Well, just doing the right thing. And I wasn't the person who I am today. So I'm gonna tell you, if I was the person who I am today, things would have gone a little bit more different. You know what I mean? But just staying out of people's way, mind your fucking business. If it got nothing to do with you, you not gang affiliated, you nothing like that, stay away. If it's not your business, stay away. And choose a squad that you feel like is gonna get you through whatever you're gonna get through. You know what I mean? Choose people around you that are, you know.
And throughout that, I think, 8-month experience, you were unharmed.
Yeah, I was unharmed.
No fights, nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
And because you were raised Catholic by your mother, you were under her household, under her roof,
Yeah.
did that create a rift between you two because you started to divert
Yeah.
from that religion and she was still, I mean, she had raised you under it, so.
Of course, yeah. She's a very strong personality, so that definitely took a toll on her when it came down to me wanting to do what I wanted to do as far as growing into an adult. But yeah, I mean that's all parents. You know, your kids, I'm assuming my daughter one day she gonna grow up and she gonna wanna do what she wanna do. And I will tell her if it's wrong or right, but I can only tell her from what I think is wrong and right. So
And for time reference, it's July 2021 now.
yeah, let's get it.